In a world full of movie podcasts, here is one more. Welcome to Defend Your Movie with Sean Donnelly
and Andrew Fiore.
The time has come again. The champion must stand. It can only be one of us. Victoria! So stand up in that, my friend. There's a title you must defend. Shut it on and on. Bring it to me. Defend your movie.
It's a new era.
Hey, let's start there. That's good. That's good. Hey, everybody. It's a new era. I am now starting not Defend Your Movie. You are now listening to the DYM podcast. Woo! Woo! We said it last week. There's been a rebranding. We're in a time of brands. Everybody's a brand. So we decided that Defend Your Movie was going to become not exclusively about movies. We're going to talk about whatever. We're going to have our friends on here. And this is the first week that we're doing DYM, and we're so excited about it. And it's a new era. That's just like Andy said. It's
a new age.
It's a new age, man.
It's a fun age.
And I guess that we can always right away we can celebrate. I don't want to say celebrate, but right away we know that we didn't have Chris D'Elia on the podcast ever.
And he wasn't booked.
We can pretend that it's because we knew that something was going to happen with him. But the real case is that he would have never done the podcast. That's really what's going on.
I thought we had him booked.
We had Chris D'Elia. We should get Chris D'Elia now.
Yeah, we go. Hey, guy, think you got some free time on your hands. Clear your name up. Address anything you want to address.
But I think what I want to talk about is like the whole thing with Chris D'Elia is crazy. It's like, yeah, it's funny to me, people on Twitter. Did you ever consider getting rid of one of your social medias, Andy?
I was telling our friend Greg Stone this the other day. I go, my quarantine exposure to Twitter and Facebook has dropped, which you think it would have gone up.
Oh, but maybe dropped? How?
Maybe because it has to do.
Monk?
No, I think I can't stand Twitter anymore, dude. I can't stand the hypocrisy. I can't stand. There's just too many voices that are bullshit to me. And especially in our industry and in our community, people do things for the wrong reasons. People do things to try and, again, what you said at the top, brand themselves one way or the other because they think it'll help their career. Not necessarily it's because they're true beliefs. So I go, I just don't need to see this. I don't need to read this. I don't need this in my life. And half of it, more than half, is inaccurate and bullshit anyway.
Yesterday, our friend Mike Racine had a great phrase. He called it internet points.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man. It's internet points. That's what Absolutely. You're vying for at that point. Now,
and that's the other thing. We've said this before. You're never going to make the internet happy. No matter how good a thing,
no way.
No matter how positive a thing is, somebody's going to find it and ruin it on the internet. So I go, you know what? I just don't. I look a couple times a day now. I'm still on it, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's like I always liked to use it to try out a joke because it was a perfect little a size for quick little jokes, and if that joke worked well and people received it, I'd maybe try it on stage. Now, as a fucking straight cis white man, if I make a joke about anything that is not relevant or current, or I'm not speaking out against something, I'm the devil. So it's lose-lose.
Well, it's one of those things where you're absolutely right. And what's going on now, if people don't know, is because the other thing is this: it's a very small section of our society. There's only how many people are on Twitter? There's like 1% of the population.
Not even
1%. I think less than that.
It's very low.
Yeah, and Chris D'Elia, a super famous comic who's been on a bunch of TV shows and has a big following. It was found out that he allegedly was contacting teenagers and asking them for nude photos and asking them to meet up and stuff like that. Now, let's just start off by saying, yeah, fuck him. Like, it's creepy. You're super creepy. But that's what it is. Like, not that people – this is what I don't get about comics on Twitter. Yeah. we all agree that it's creepy. Everybody agrees that it's creepy. But making a joke about it, I saw people going after people for making jokes about it. And I'm like, no, that's what you do.
That's what Twitter is.
Why
here
don't
for.
you? You're demeaning him. Like, make fun of him for doing it. Go ahead. Make a joke about it. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
But like the thing about the idea of being like, of just bashing him in a speech on Twitter with no humor behind it when you're supposedly a comic, it makes no sense to me. We're not turning for you for a moral compass.
That's exactly what my point was, is that you're just doing that. You're just showing off, dude. I don't think those are your strong convictions. I'm sorry. I'm sure there are some that are exceptions to the rule. Sure.
And I think that don't get me wrong, like, it's one of those things, the tone that people have when they write these tweets that are completely, going after Chris D'Elia or anything like this is this tone of like you are okay with it. It's like, it almost implies, if you're, like you said, if you're not as writing something as serious as they are, it means that you're also guilty with this guy, and that's just not the case.
Yeah.
That's what Twitter has become. Is like, all right, remember like in Frankenstein, right?
It's a puppet.
They have what'd you say?
I was going to say, yeah. No. Go ahead. I like the Frankenstein.
In Frankenstein, the villagers with the pitchforks and the torches.
The mob.
Now the mob mentality. Not even mob mentality, because I think what they're saying is right. The guy's being creepy. But the mob mentality on Twitter is just going from thing to thing, and they're just doing it to hear themselves
100%
talk, basically, online, and to gain internet points. And it's really
it's so great.
It's really, really annoying when you're somebody who's like, you don't want to just turn on your Twitter and then turn on your Twitter. What am I, 90? You don't want to turn on your Twitter. You don't want to turn on your Twitter. But when you check Twitter,
let it warm up for a minute, honey. I'm letting the Twitter warm up.
And people are just writing things that it's like, yeah, duh, it does.
Exactly.
Like there's nobody. I don't know anybody who's like, nah, let him hit on these 16-year-olds. Nobody. I haven't seen anybody doing that. It really is a thing where it's like, of course it's creepy. But the other thing is this. I say this. Charge him. Find out the newest case of it happening and charge him for soliciting child pornography. Then charge him. Don't be a fucking bag of hot air. Find out where it happened and inform the police and charge him with the crime.
Once it's off Twitter, it's over.
It's gone. It'll be gone in a day. Yeah. A day from now, this will be gone.
My other favorite point of the whole Chris D'Elia thing. We don't got to spend too much time on this, but so many people on Twitter are coming out of the woodworks going, I never found him funny anyway. You go, that's my favorite talking point. I go, that has zero to do with anything. And that just goes to show you how much it is all about internet points and cred. Because you go, yeah, I never thought he was funny anyway. You go, it doesn't matter if he's fucking Chris. If it doesn't matter if it's Dave Chappelle or it's Ted Bundy. It doesn't.
And also, how about this, dude? Because I knew this would happen before I even read Twitter regarding this, because I knew about the story. Somebody told me about it. How about this? When somebody writes a tweet that says, I knew it. No, you didn't.
Of course.
No, you didn't know this guy was hitting up 16-year-olds. You didn't know that. Stop lying. Stop lying. You thought maybe like he gave you a creepy vibe, but in actuality, he was just a guy who was like a Lothario type that was like, probably did well with women. And anytime that happens, you go, oh, he's some people, he's a creep. Some people, you can say anybody's creepy. At this point, you can say anybody's creepy.
Yeah, sure. And here's my one other point, and I don't think this is necessarily a negative thing. There was one girl, I think she was a Canadian comic. I don't want to name names, and I don't know how accurate I'm going to be, but she said, yeah, when I was 21 years old, he hit me up and I went to go see him, and I knew it was like implied that we might hook up. I go, well, you were 21. You have no stake in this battle. That you're an adult who can drink, and I mean,
wait. So how did it end though?
You can make an argument for 18, but technically that's like a legal age. And I understand we were all 18, and you still don't know shit. But 21, you go. I go. You're trying to hop on the bandwagon, and you have no merit here. You're 21. Get the fuck out of it. We're talking about 15, 16, 17-year-olds. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah, and also, how did that story end? They ended up hooking up. Is that what happened?
I don't think I think she, in her version, she left. She
backed out.
Yeah.
So
I think she was invited to his hotel and they were supposed to meet at the bar. And then she got to the bar and he invited her to her room and she didn't feel comfortable going to his room.
Oh, and then
and that's, you know, as a 21-year-old, that's how you make those decisions. It's like, well, what are you just trying to get your name out there?
Yeah, that just seems like somebody he asked you to come up. That was implied that you were going to go up there and hook up with him, and you said no. There was there's nothing. You were like, no, this is a bad situation. And
so what's your story?
So if you didn't want to go up there and hook up, you did the right thing. You got out of there. So where's the story? Exactly. Where's the story? Yeah. But here's the thing, man. I think there is a thing with like there's a lot of guys with the personalities of guys where they can do that. They can use their celebrity or their power here's the thing.
The dawn of celebrity.
Absolutely, that happens, and it's not right to do that. But we live in a world where that fucking happens. But that story right there ended with her walking away. You did the right thing. You made the right choice. You knew what his intent was. It's not like she's not saying that he did anything wrong, basically. All he did was say, do you want to come to my room? She said, no. Okay, cool. He didn't come down and chase her down the hallway or do some crazy shit.
I have a similar story with Chris D'Elia. I met him one time, too.
Yeah, I met him once, and he asked me to get in his car for a ride to the store, and I said, no, I'll walk, and I walked. I don't know if the intention was for me and Chris D'Elia to make out or not, but
Nobody's believing you or me passed up a ride to walk. I'll tell you that much for free.
Hey, man, I'm doing intermittent fasting. I'm on the way. I'm on my way, baby.
Good over there, pal. I'll tell you that much. For
you do too. You look like you lost weight, buddy. We're on Zoom video for people who don't know. But I feel fantastic from doing it. So
that's
good. You know what it is? I just have to pare down this giant potato head of mine. I have a gigantic head, dude. Like I have a thing where I've gotten like hats and people are like, yeah, this is like the one size fits all. And I'm like, it's not. And on top of it, my head's so big.
Your head is bigger than all.
Did I tell you about the masks that I bought? I bought masks because of Corona, obviously.
Yeah, I got the same problem, I think.
Homage. And they go one size fits all on these masks. And I got them. Dude, it looked like I had a yarmulke with straps on the front of my face. It was just a circle around my mouth. Like
you got to write that down. That's a bit. That's a Corona bit. That's fantastic.
I've said it on digital show. It's a Corona joke, right? And here's the thing, man. When you're a chubby guy, there's nothing more depressing than like you're used to things not fitting your body. When they don't fit your head, that's a new level.
Face.
That's a new level of chubby. And then I was trying it out, and what happens is the rest of your head is spilling out the sides of the mask. It looks like you're trying to put a Thanksgiving turkey in a onesie. Like that's what my face looked like. It just looked like just getting a whole bunch of flesh into something that doesn't fit it.
Dude, mine was embarrassing because I had the same problem. Someone they would go, hey, I made all these out of bathing suits, and I wish it was not my fat face in it, but I put it was like a breast cup of a bikini as a mask. That's, people are making homemade ones. And I'm like, this thing's not fitting over my face. I'm like, what is this, an A cup? Is this a B cup? And then I realized who it was. She's got large breasts. And I'm going, no, it's just my fat head and fat face.
And also, talk about creepy. It feels like you're sniffing a bra.
I know. It was great.
All right, easy does it. We don't want to get Andy Fiore canceled before.
No. It was I did. I made those. I made a mask out of my ex's. She left a bra at my place, and I had them made into a mask. And then I wore her panties just for confidence, though, just so I finally had an excuse.
Just to exert your femininity and your sexual confidence.
Exactly.
But I think I'm getting to the point. I was thinking about it today, and I was late to that party on getting off stuff. So I think I might because also Facebook that's happening to a lot of people on Facebook. Facebook is almost like a wasteland at this point.
Oh yeah, it's a disaster zone. You don't have to get off completely. It's just like you said, pare down the time. Just check it once a day or something. I actually looked at my Instagram time. Tell me if you think this is a bad thing. I never looked at this feature before. Yesterday, I looked at Instagram. I average 49 minutes a day on Instagram. I think that's pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's unheard of. Like Instagram should be writing a message to you like, "Are you still alive?" At that point, because Instagram, it's probably 3 hours, 4 hours. Like I'm
really?
constantly on it. I'm checking it. Like I check my pulse, which I don't check, but
I've been checking stuff a lot less. I don't know. I guess what it is. I guess it's just being single again. You'd think I'd be on it more, but I'm not. I just don't kind of care because it's a lot of the same bullshit on Twitter. It's just people posting memes, and it's like.
Well,
I feel bad if I post a Throwback Thursday and people screaming at me like, "You're not saying enough." I go, I just wanted to post a picture from college. That's all.
Yeah. Well, you had a Throwback Thursday where you had somebody that you were dating that contacted you, right?
Yeah, my ex. So we broke up. We broke up late February, like right before the quarantine happened. It was actually Ash Wednesday, if you remember. I was like, oh, she gave me up for Lent. She literally gave up for Lent.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, why do girls do that? I want to. Okay, so
I'll give you the whole breakdown.
Yeah, give me the whole breakdown. Sorry, yeah.
So yeah, we broke up, and then COVID and quarantine happened, and fast forward April. Her birthday was like April 8th, so I just sent out a hey, happy birthday, and we talked a little bit, but I could tell she didn't even want to be texting. She was being friendly. And then June happens. Fast forward to June. She said, hey, I'm in Queens at the Home Depot. I thought of you. How are you doing? And we had a little conversation there and kind of dried up again. And then last night, our friend and fellow comedian Michael Che has been doing these pop-up shows in Long Island City. So I wandered over there and I was hanging around backstage and I got a text from her when I got home. She says, hey, I saw you at Michael Che. And I said, oh, why didn't you say hi? And she said, I waved, but then I got scared. And it's like, well, what are you telling me this for? You could have just not said hi and not said anything at all. And we would have, you just want the attention.
Right, exactly. That's what I wanted to ask. I don't know how many, we have some female listeners, I believe. It's not just all dudes. Hi, ladies. Hi, gals. Hi,
love
women.
the female defenders.
Hi, women.
The defenders.
The defenders. So here's the thing. I'm curious about this. Why? The same way that women are curious about what's in a guy's brain because they do certain things, they ghost you, they do this, whatever it is. You just explain your scenario. What is the advantage of doing that? Like, I think what is going through her brain? It's got to, to me, my assessment of it is it's either one of two things where it's like, oh, she doesn't realize how it's coming across and she just missed you and wanted to give you a shout. Mm-hmm. Or she's playing games and it's manipulative, but I don't think it's that one. I think it's that she doesn't realize how it's coming. She thinks that, oh, we'll just be friendly and we'll do this. But the fact of the matter is that you guys were into each other. You were into it. Like it takes its toll on you. Like it makes you go,
yeah.
Oh.
And here's I'm a dummy. I'm a romantic dummy, and it's like it gives me hope. Where I'm like, oh, maybe this is her way of reaching out and like wanting to get back together.
I'm the same way. We're both the same way with that. We wear a heart on our sleeve. Like, yeah, that's why I can't do the apps. I've done them. I went on a date yesterday with them, but like I can't do them because I decide how it's going to go before the conversation is over. Do you know what I mean? Like I look at the picture and I'm like, this is how it'll go down. You know what I mean? Like, sure. I have the whole thing mapped out in my brain. Like, first this happens, then this happens. Like, but it's not
same, dude. We're cut from the same cloth. Honestly.
Yeah, and I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just I can't help but think.
I can't help it.
And but I'm also not. I'm not a leech. I'm not sitting there going, "We're gonna hang out 24 hours a day." I'll be at your house. I mean, not like that. You wanted to. We're normal people, but I still have been like, oh. Just based off whatever the profile is, you're like, oh, I bet you it's going to be like this, and then you just map it out. You just map it out. Yeah, you map it out in your brain, and then you get there, and it's completely different, and yeah, it's never what you think it is.
I'm answering questions to arguments that we've had 10 years into our relationship.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like,
well, you should have picked the kids up. It wasn't my responsibility. I'm sorry, honey.
Yeah, and that's what it means to be a romantic. That's definitely a romantic thing.
It's like, here's the thing. I don't need any. I don't, not to sound terse, but I don't need any more gal pals that I just was romantically linked to, and now just want to hang out. I don't know if that makes you feel better about yourself, because she did break up with me, and I don't know if that gives her some sort of what a freedom now, that freedom from or lessens her guilt from, but
Yeah.
it's like, because last week she was telling me how she moved and all this, and I said, there's a pizza place I love right near there where you moved to. I was like, if you want to, let's go sometime. I'll buy you a slice. And she was like,
Wait,
yeah,
this was recently? This was recently?
Last week when she reached out. So we've had a week.
Oh, you didn't mention that part.
I didn't mention that part because I didn't want to seem like a person.
Oh. Wait, but that bodes well for you, because if she really wasn't into that idea, why would she say, "Hey, I saw you at the comedy show"? This is what I'm saying. This is what goes in. This is a guy's brain.
This is the way I was thinking too.
But see, that's logic. And I think sometimes these situations, logic gets thrown out the window when people, because people have such different perceptions of things. Because you could ask her and she'd be like, I was just saying hi, and I saw him, so I thought I would say hi again because I saw him.
But then why would she say, I got waved, but then I got scared? I was like,
yeah.
Either like you were genuinely like nervous to see me, or you were with another dude. That was
with another dude. Maybe that's a possibility.
And then here's just to end this, and then we'll move on to a different topic. I asked her. I said, "Oh, are you still there, hanging out?" Because I drove, so I was home in 5 seconds. I said, "Oh, are you still around?" And then I just never heard back. So it's like, oh, I asked you a question, and then you just don't give a shit anymore. So it's like, and she was kind of flaky to begin with. So whatever. I don't know if I'm going to follow up. Ladies, defenders, call in if you want to give the kid some advice. If you want to give Cool Breeze.
Yeah, send us an email, defendyourmovie@gmail.com, girls. Let us know, or message us.
Listen, I know it's so subjective, and every girl it's different, and there are so many great ladies out there who are like, yeah, she's being stupid. You shouldn't play games that any.
But it's still, but you know what? That's another thing that annoys me, because a lot of women you're going to talk to are going to say, yeah, that's dumb. But here's the thing. This happens all the time.
I know. It's
so it's like, so who is it? It's you guys are the people that are saying, oh, that's ridiculous, have probably done it in their life. Like people just don't, unless they're in the situation. That's when their brain goes somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's when everything changes. But if you're seeing something from the outside, you're realizing the logic and the absolute. You're more grounded in assessing the situation than. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Girls are able to comment on stuff they're not in, but when they're in it, they're making moves like this, and you go, "Well, what the hell?" Not that I'm saying guys do stupid shit all the time. It happens,
of course.
It's on both sides.
Here's the other thing too about that is. I get so stupid when it comes to my own. Like, if you told me something, I guess I don't even know if I'm using this phrase right. It's like seeing the forest for the trees. It's like when other people have relationship issues, I go, that's insane. You got to do this. As soon as it becomes my own personal thing, I'm fucking blind. I go, logic is every reason are thrown out the window.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
And how much of your attitude towards women do you think, because we are doing the DYM, so it's not just movies, but there's movies. That's the new branding is we're going to work movies into every podcast.
Defend your men.
Defend your men. Defend your men. That sounds like an alt-right group, Defend Your Men. How much of your attitude towards relationships and like dating do you think comes from the movies that you like? Like, meaning, like the relationship movies.
I have thought about this before. I do sometimes think it's funny because growing up on TV and movies, I do sometimes dream up scenarios like if it were in a movie or a sitcom.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Couple, but it's like, real life just does not work like that. It
doesn't,
and it's not going to be these hilarious adventures that everything works out at the end of a half hour. But you're right; it is definitely influential for sure.
Like certain types of relationships in movies and TV, you're like, oh, I want to model my relationship after. Not model it, but you're like, I hope I want that kind of dynamic.
Oh yeah, I definitely do that. I've been
and you're right, and then I want that dynamic. I want my whole relationship to be written by a room full of 30-year-old chubby writers. Guys that have coffee breath and one lady probably knowing writing rooms. Just one lady and
it's Chinese food and
because that's what it is. It's guys that are But I think that absolutely the things that we watch totally lends itself to how we view and I think it's also how you're raised. I think it's probably also how your parents the relationship that your parents had?
Yeah, probably, because my parents have just been together forever, almost 50 years. So, I think they have a kind of no nonsense relationship too. It's a pretty classic, father brings home the bacon, mom was a housewife, like 60s, 70s, 80s kind of.
Yeah, happy days.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you might be right about that but also we are the classic Italian kind of Irish closed off with your feelings, emotions.
Yeah.
As long as everything's okay and we're not rocking the boat, we're not going to really bring it up.
So were we. My dad's been gone for a while, but we were the same way. There was like not any kind of, there was no sharing of emotions in our house. I feel like, what other families that do share emotions? Like, I guess Latin?
Oh yeah. Latin, probably. I mean, here's the thing. Italian families, like true, I think Italian families, the more stereotypical you think Italian.
Are
very
more emotional.
vocal.
Yeah.
We are just the more of the Catholic, I think. It's just bottled up, and the Irish bottled up.
Everything I know about Italians I get from Goodfellas, so that's what I'm going by.
Sopranos.
That's why they have to have like basically Italian anti-defamation leagues where they're like, we're not all mobsters. People, every time people meet Italian, I think Italians being from like Jersey and Long Island, like real Italians.
Sopranos nailed that so well.
They nailed it, and also the rest of that's why the rest of the country loves Italian-based media, like Italian-based TV shows.
It's romanticized.
It's totally romanticized, but they don't have it. You go to California, there's no Italians.
Nah,
there's no Italians. If you go to
there's a difference. There's an East Coast Italian stereotype, which is what you know from Goodfellas and Sopranos. That doesn't exist basically past the fucking Hudson River.
No way, man. Yeah, exactly.
But
now from now on, I'm going to have every relationship I have model it after Karen and Henry Hill from Goodfellas. I'm just going to get a gun pointed at me in my bed and
can't do it, Karen.
I only want like a girl. I only want a woman that is going to flush cocaine down the toilet and
drop a gun in her panties. Dude, Karen was hot, man. Young Lorraine, she was a piece of ass.
She was hot, yeah. She was, and she played that role to a T.
I like Karen better than
Karen. Better than Janice from Sopranos.
No, better than Janice.
Janice. Ross. Really? Oh, see, I didn't. I liked actually. What's her name? Not
Sandy.
Oh, I know. I like Janice Rossi at the most out of all three of those. I think she was the hottest.
Apartment 2R.
Yeah. You have a whore living in your building. Hello? Is this the super? You have a whore in apartment 2R.
I've always wanted to live in 2R in my entire living in New York City. I've never come close to 2R. I just think it'd be a dream.
I lived in
it either. I would go to there if I knew somebody who lived in 2R. I'd go there every day. You wouldn't be able to.
Wait, I think I lived in a 2R. No.
Oh, come on.
I think in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, I was in 2R. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was a 2R. I was a Janice Rossi.
Buddy, how did we not fucking do this every single day of our lives?
Janice Rossi, you have a whore. Sean Donnelly living in 2R. You have a whore.
Take it easy, Sandy. I know, just make it last.
Make it last.
That's such a cocaine warning. Make it last. So speaking of which, did you watch anything this week?
I kind of didn't. That's what I was trying to rack my brain for something that I would have watched. I was playing Zelda again, and I
played a lot of Uncharted.
Watching a lot of bullshit. I was watching a lot of Food Network. I've been cooking, so I've been getting into Food Network.
Nice, dude. You make the dishes out there?
I'm making a lot of basic stuff, but I've been doing pretty good considering.
Same here.
I cooked zero amount of times before this, dude. I am talking. I didn't know how to make eggs before I did.
Oh, wow!
Like I'd make maybe like hot dogs or grilled cheese, maybe, but I wasn't doing it. I was like buying food from everywhere. So now I make my eggs every morning. I've made steaks. I made myself burgers.
Yeah, I got a nice steak tonight.
I make buffalo chicken on the slow cooker, but also I make barbecue chicken on my grill pan that I got and baked
I love
potatoes.
it. We're going to have a cooking segment to DYM.
We should do DYM cooking.
Defend your meats.
everything works out. Now it's just
really
defend whatever starts with an M.
We're eventually gonna run out of M things, but we'll fight. That's great. Yeah, I was okay. I'm basic, but I've stepped it up a little bit. It's like, yeah, I'll cook a steak now, but now I'll research like cooking times and how to get it directly medium rare. I'll get different cuts. I'll get some pork chops, and I'm having fun with it. I'm trying to and save a ton of money doing that way too.
I have 2 fillets right now in the fridge that I might make tonight.
I'm making a ribeye tonight, buddy.
What are you making it on?
I just do the stovetop, and my trick is you heat the stovetop as hot as possible. And my other trick is... What
do you mean, a pan? Oh, you mean the...
a stovetop. Yeah, just a stovetop pan. And I salt both sides for a half hour before I throw it on the heat.
How much salt?
Draws out the juices. I just eyeball it. I just kind of sprinkle. That draws out the juices, and then I don't coat the pan at all. It just goes in clean, and
it cooks in its fat. Yeah,
depending on how thick the cut, it cooks in its fat. I have a pretty good sized cut. I'm going to do it at 1 minute. I flip every minute for 8 minutes, and it get a nice medium rare going.
You flip every minute for 8 minutes. Wow.
Yes. Yeah,
I was doing 4 on the fillet. I was salt and peppering it, and doing 4 and 4 on each side. Yeah,
I just found this way to work good for me, so I stuck with it. And then I got a little Stubbs barbecue sauce, and
so that's what I get. I get Stubbs
spicy.
I get sweet heat.
Oh, I got spicy. And then I do my Montreal steak seasoning. Sprinkle a little of that, and good to go. Some carrots on the side, and that's it.
I bought some Peter Luger steak sauce.
Oh, I bought Peter Luger's bacon. They have a bacon cut.
Really?
And it was almost too much.
From the supermarket?
Yeah, from the supermarket.
Oh, it was basically like another steak.
It was a thick cut of bacon.
It was like a pork chop, basically.
I had 2 slabs, and I'm full.
What's the most exotic thing you made during the quarantine?
Nothing really too exotic. I've been making some. This is not exotic at all. But I stick to the basics. I have some nice tortellinis.
All right. I do chicken cutlets. I'm good at cutlets, man.
Yeah.
And they're not that hard to make. But I mean, you can fuck it up though.
I don't want to really be too bothered either, so I don't go too crazy because I am working with the basics of basics.
Well, I'll watch like guys' grocery games and stuff like that. It's so much fun.
Oh,
and then I watched like 4 episodes of Chopped the other day. And,
you just can't watch it too much because then you stop. It makes me hungry and I can't stop eating.
I just try to figure it out. I'm like, I don't have all the stuff to do the stuff they're doing, obviously, but I'm like, what can I do on my end? Because what I realized is this: the real trick of cooking is like when people are making sauces or they're making
hungry right now.
Yeah, right. Now I'm starving. That's from Bennington from back in the day. I don't know if he does it anymore. Now I'm starving. Ron Bennington. They would talk any food reference on the show. He'd go, "Now I'm starving," like really low into the mic. Anyway, but I've been sticking to steaks and chicken and burgers. I'm good at too. Burgers.
I haven't really dug into the burgers too much, just because.
That's 4 minutes on each side. That's you doing. I'll tell you, man. Get ground chuck. You do ground chuck. And I was doing ground beef, and the guy at the butcher was like, "No, chuck works better for burgers." And it's the world. It's so much moisture. Much moisture.
Yeah. Nice.
So it's fresh ground chuck. All I do, same thing, salt and pepper. I put it into like a little bit bigger than you want on the patty, than you want the burger to be because it'll cook down. And I do literally 4 minutes on each side on my grill pan, and it came out really good. And then I put my barbecue sauce on top, and that's all I pretty much have, So I think we're becoming better people during this quarantine.
I think so too. That's a good. All right, DYM, defend your meat segment. I like it.
One thing I did watch, I started watching again, but I got only very shortly into it, was Inside Man. Which we talked about.
I think we talked about it a little bit last week.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Very traumatic for me. I don't want to open up.
Yeah, we can't get it. But I do like that movie. And I was just talking, I was doing my friend Jason Silo's podcast right before we taped this, and we were talking about Signs again. And Signs, I can't get enough of the Signs. Signs is quality.
About where after that Shyamalan Ding Dong kind of goes downhill.
Well, that's what we were talking about.
Sixth Sense is great. Signs is great. The Happening is an utter piece of trash.
It's garbage. The Village is not. The Village is not.
The Village is okay. It's tolerable.
It's not bad.
It's scary, and because you don't know what's happening. But then I think in the ending you just go, it's kind of a cop out. But I didn't see it coming. I'll give it that.
Yeah, right. I think it was actually not like, it's not as bad as a twist as the freaking stupid. The Happening is one of the most worst movies I've ever
Oh
seen.
God, it's so atrocious. And it doesn't help that it's Mark Wahlberg either. It's like another actor could have maybe made that a little.
Yeah. Well, the writing, it also shows how bad the writing is because you have him saying the bad writing, and it's garbage.
But here's the thing, dude. I'll give him credit because coming up with those like crazy twists is one of the most difficult things to do. And like you really blew his nut early. It's like once you set yourself to that high a standard, it's really hard to keep topping yourself. So
I was saying to
Jason, does make a decent film.
Jason was saying he could have done a thing where he was just a director after a couple of
right,
years.
absolutely.
But he was expected to be that auteur type of director that wrote everything that he directed. Did you watch anything this week? Or are you gonna?
Yeah, I watched a really fun one on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. This guy Jonas Åkerlund directed.
What else did he
Polar.
do? And what's it about?
It is about, so I'm not sure even how to say this guy's name correctly. I guess it's Mads Mikkelsen. You know that guy?
Mads Mikkelsen? No, I don't know who that is.
You would recognize him. He, I guess he's a Danish actor.
How do you spell it? Do you know?
Mikkelsen. He played Le Chiffre in Casino Royale, if maybe that helps.
Wait, is it Mikkel Lespierre?
No, Mads.
Mads
Mikkelsen is his first name. Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen.
I know this guy. Oh, yeah, I know who this guy is.
Yeah, you would recognize him. He's not necessarily like a household leading name.
He's in The Matrix, I think, isn't he? Or,
maybe.
He might be in one of the Matrix. Let me see. Maybe he's.
Either way, he is like the world's like top assassin, and he plays the Black Kaiser. And he's basically works for like an assassin's company, so they have like a pension program that they pay into, and they're forced to retire at 50. And against his will, he kind of is now trying to get revenge because the owner of the company is this kind of piece of shit guy who can't pay out his pensions. It's kind of a weird plot, but the action and the story, it's such a great, great fun, don't have to think about it kind of action movie. What's her name is in it? Vanessa Hudgens is in it. She's great.
I love Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah, dude, give it a watch. If you know what it is going into it, it's just a fun hitman.
That sounded
movie.
really creepy. Oh, I just said that.
But here's the dude. You got to take this one with a grain of salt. It's an action movie. It's a hitman movie. It's super fun and like over the top. And I loved it, man. Polar, watch it.
So I gotta check it out. So it's like it's tons of action, huh?
Tons of action and like really cool, like really fun. I really enjoyed it. It was like one of those things where I was just looking for something to find on Netflix, and it kept popping up on my feed. I go, fine, I'll just give this one a watch. And I was just an hour and a half later, totally into it. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. He plays Duncan Vizia in Polar.
Yeah, the Black Kaiser. This is like,
and it's directed by Jonas Åkerlund. I want to look up what Jonas Åkerlund. He directed something else. He looks like a 14-year-old goth girl in his picture. Jonas, if you look at, and he directed. Jonas Åkerlund. What did he do that I know about?
Yeah, not too much here.
A lot of music stuff. Oh, weird. So what do I know him from?
Yeah, a lot of music stuff. I mean, here's the thing. It did look like at points like a goddamn long music video.
That becomes dangerous though, man, because I'll tell you.
He did Spun?
I didn't even see Spun. Here Comes the Change, Lords of Chaos. Maybe I heard of that, but I know I've heard his name like multiple times. Yeah, it looks like this guy's career was mostly videos if you are looking at his Wikipedia page. But either way, man, it was a fun little romp. I gotta check it out. It's good acting. Yeah, it's one of those where you just like it's everything is serviceable. Is it in English? It's in English though. Yeah, it's in English. Yeah, I gotta check it out, man. Fun flick, and that's fun flick. I've been playing the video games. I've been playing the whole Uncharted series. I'm almost done with part 4. Is that you have Xbox or you have PlayStation? PlayStation 4. I have Xbox. I've been playing. I beat Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Me and my roommate, we beat it. But I didn't realize this. When you beat it, it finishes, right? So, like, you can't go back after beating it and play the rest of the
that's kind of a bummer.
So you have to go back in and you save certain levels of where you're at, like certain.
Yeah.
So I had to go back to a time before I beat it, obviously, before I went to the castle, and right, but I still had all my stuff. So now I'm going around doing the mini missions, so technically in this version I haven't beaten it yet, but I already beat it.
Gotcha.
But that game is unbelievable, and it's so weird because it's like this marriage between like what you know as an American kid and like Japanese anime and video games. It's beautifully made, the game. Like you look at the landscapes, they're beautiful, but there's such weird characters that don't talk, they just talk by their text. So they just have them all making noises. So you go in to buy something from like the market, and instead of the lady being like, "Hello, how are you?" Like they don't do English because it's like a worldwide game. So they're smart and they just have text on the screen. But when you start to say, "I want to buy something," the shopkeeper goes, oh, and like everybody sounds like they're orgasming all the time on this video game. Everything is it's just these weird like bird sounds. It's so strange to me. So, but you kind of get
my
used
neighbors
to it.
don't know what the hell's going on in here.
Yeah. They're like, is he fucking a video game? What's going on in there? So I've been playing that again, but then we also got BioShock. I started that a little bit, but I don't like the games that are like straight through one path. I like the roaming ones.
Yeah, that's why I love Uncharted, because it's like Indiana Jones. You adventure, you explore, you got to solve puzzles, but you shoot bad guys, and sometimes there's even like zombies or something. It's a great series. I love it, and I am the Last of Us 2 is coming out, and I just downloaded The Last of Us.
Oh, that trailer looks unbelievable.
So I'm going to get into part 1 after I finish Uncharted 4, and then eventually I'll get to Last of Us 2. But that's the big release coming up this weekend. I think tonight at midnight, to be honest, but I'm not there yet. So.
Oh, so you're going to try to beat one before you do it?
Oh, yeah. You got to go.
So do you play a lot of video games then?
I have in quarantine. I was basically done with video games. I had a PlayStation 4, but I used it mostly as like an entertainment hub that like connected all my streaming services, you know?
Yeah.
And now because of all the time on your hands and you're just at home, I'm back in, man. I just had to find the games that I liked again. Like I used to love Tomb Raider. That's why Zelda is kind of the same thing. Or just like you look down, 3 hours have passed because you've been just walking around a forest, looking for a rocket.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, Zelda. That's exactly what happens.
And I even bought some sports games. I bought MLB, the show 2020. I bought a PGA Tour 2020 because I like playing golf games. But I can't get back into MLB, man. It's as boring as watching baseball. And I'm a huge baseball fan, but I just can't get back into it.
MLB, the game itself. Well, it's always fun with the sports games when it comes to video games. The ones that are like the juiced up versions. So like NBA Jam always used to be fun because it was 2-on-2 and the big heads and it was controls. Whenever it's like when you're like you're measuring the guys like cup size, that's when it's like you know what I'm saying? Like when it's so detailed that you're like. So you're dating somebody now. You got divorced. That's affecting your game. Like it's all these different. like you guys got married and divorced. Like that. You don't play as well today. It's
that's
like,
affected his short game.
That's affected his short game. Like
that's hilarious.
The ones that are the most like the easiest to play are the most fun. Like NFL Blitz. You remember that game for
for sure.
That was in the 360. That was NFL Blitz.
I bailed. I was
Nintendo.
Yeah, PS2 was the last one I had. I skipped right over PS3, but that's why I think my decline of video games happened. It got too complicated, and I got too old. I go, it's just too much buttons, it's too much shit for me to press, and it's too much to remember.
You feel old, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, but it's been fun, man. I'm excited to actually hang up, and I'm right at the last mission on Uncharted 4. I can't wait to run into my.
So you want to end the episode early? I'm pretty sure you're trying to wrap this up.
Here we go. We got a pretty good clip here.
We're going on a good clip.
45 on the nose.
45, baby. Well, I think this was a huge success.
Absolutely. That was.
I'm excited for future DYM podcasts. I think the catchphrase now is not just movies. That's what we're going to call it because we got to do something. If you like this episode, there'll be more of these coming at you. Contact us, tweet at us at Defend Your Movie. I guess we got to change up the social media Don't even, you know what? Fuck it. Don't tweet at us. Fuck Twitter at this point. And maybe we should take a stand and we'll do Instagram. I'll change the Instagram. That'll be our main hub.
All right. Yeah, we do have a new logo to premiere on the.
Yes, we have a new logo that we're going to put out. It's the DYM logo. Yeah, so there's a lot of great things. I think this is a really fun episode. I think me and you are the same, that if we don't, we're both like ADD enough that if you don't tell us we have to go on one subject, we get way excited to jump around from topic to topic.
Yeah, so this is perfect.
We're like a kid in a fucking mall just running around to store, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so we're going to come back at you, DYM podcast, with our friends, and we just wanted to be
I think you said it.
Not
hangout. Just movies anymore.
Not just movies anymore. It's not just
a treehouse. It's a clubhouse.
So hit us up. Like, I think, here's the thing. The podcast, we have listeners. We love the listeners. We're going to talk about movies, but we have to talk about some other stuff with you guys because of how excited we are to do this and because of how much fun it is to do podcasts in general. We're trying to shoot for, we're each going to have 14 podcasts apiece, I think.
Yes, minimum.
But guys, I really believe this. I think we should just concentrate on the Instagram.
Yeah,
at Defend Your Movie on Instagram. Or actually, you know what? I'm going to change it. But look up Defend Your Movie on Instagram. At Defend Your Movie on Instagram. But we'll change I guess we can change.
I think you can change the handle, and everybody following you still follows you. I don't think it restarts.
So we'll have the new name next week. Follow at Defend Your Movie on Instagram. DM us on there. Let us know.
DYMS.
What'd you say?
DYMS.
DYMS.
I hope you like this, people, because I'll never stop.
These fucking dad jokes. I said, "You feel old, Andy?" He's like, "No, just in joke form. I feel old. Just in my."
Which reminds me, if I could get a plug in, if you're listening to this this morning, and if the weather is cooperative, tonight I will be in Limerick, Pennsylvania, at the Shops at Limerick is what I have been told. It's an outdoor show, and I'll be doing a headlining set. I'll bring my pal Allie Breen with me. She's going to open. And, live stand-up comedy. We're going to be safe and social distancing. So please, if you're in that area, come out. I'd love to see you, and I'd love to get a potato or some meats and Pete's from a Defender.
Bring Andy a potato. We haven't had one of those in a while.
Exactly.
We want feedback from you guys, so we still have defendyourmovie@gmail.com, but follow the Instagram. Let's hear from you on there. Just direct messages on Instagram. We're on that more anyway.
Yep.
We'll still be on the Twitter, but we want the main hub to be the Instagram.
Defend your media.
Defend your media. Ooh, that's actually maybe what it should be. Defend your media. We talk about video games. We talked about everything else.
We had defend your meats, defend your men, defend your media.
Yes, we did 3 topics in one.
Defend your mom. Defend your Marianne. That's my mom.
Ellen's my mom. Ellen Veronica Bernadette Donnelly, I think her name is.
All right, pal.
All right, buddy. Well, enjoy Uncharted, the last mission.
Thank you very much.
Mission, and then you're going to start Last of Us, you said?
Yeah.
The thing that sucks is I can't get it for my for Xbox.
Oh, get off the Xbox. You got to go PS4.
Well, but I love.
Oh, go PS5. You get the new one coming out.
I think Robert Dean, my roommate, is going to do that.
Nice.
But it comes out at Christmas, right?
That sounds right. I'm not sure.
Cool. And also follow us. You are at Andy Fiori on social media.
ANDYFIORI across the board.
And I am at Shawnee Time on social media. And also, I have another podcast that just came out. We're on our second episode. It's called Skylight. I have people come on. They tell stories about things they've seen. I just let them tell their story. I ask questions about it. And you decide if it's UAPs, UFOs. You think it's I don't know, the Wicked Witch of the North, whatever you think it is. So check out Skylight. It's on Stitcher, Google Play, what you call it?
Type it into the Google.
Yeah, type it in. You'll find it. Apple Podcasts, all that jazz. Skylight. Just look it up.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, brother. We'll see you next week, guys, and thank you so much for listening.
Bye-bye.